Good morning and welcome, friends. This is the Rio Terrace Church Summer Devotional Series. Today is Sunday, June 13th. It is good to be together, even virtually. We're continuing with our summer series. On the first and third Sunday of each month, we will gather in Poyser Park for an outdoor service. And on the second and fourth Sunday of each month, we'll have a virtual devotional followed by a Zoom fellowship hour at 10:30. So this coming Sunday is our very first outdoor service. I invite you to come and reconnect with our friends and members of Rio Terrace Church that some of us haven't seen since last August. If you're interested in joining, please register at rioterracechurch.org/live. And if this is Sunday morning around 10:30 on June 13th, I invite you to join in our Zoom fellowship hour, also at rioterracechurch.org/live. Our watchword for the week: it is good to give thanks to God, to sing praises to God's name, from Psalm 92. And from Psalm 13, I will sing to God because God has done bountifully with me. And then from James 5. Are any among you suffering? They should pray. Are any cheerful? They should sing songs of praise. This morning, we have a wonderful gift from Laurie Reid. Laurie is a longtime member of Rio Terrace Church and is known around our neighborhood as the Ice Cream Lady. Laurie supervises the day-to-day operations of our ice cream stand, recruits volunteers, makes sure that there are always wonderful flavors available, and scoops a fair amount of ice cream herself. She's going to be reflecting on her experience of the pandemic and how scooping ice cream provided some moments of clarity in an otherwise strange time. Speaking of ice cream, our ice cream stand is open daily from 3:30 until 8:30. If you're hungry for some ice cream, please stop on by. We always have at least a kid's flavor and a lactose-free flavor available. And the menu is constantly changing, so there's always a reason to come to the Rio Terrace ice cream stand.
Good morning, everyone. James asked me to speak a little bit on my COVID experience and things I'd learned or experienced, that kind of thing. So when COVID first started, I was quite interested. I have a public health background, so I was curious as to how this was going to occur, how the province would handle issues, how Canada would handle the spread of the disease. Of course, I was appalled at the number of cases and the deaths and hospitalizations that occurred. But it actually was kind of interesting, if I could say that. However, as time wore on, the novelty of the whole thing quickly dissipated, and it all became quite boring, tedious, not something anyone wants to live with. I found myself getting a little bit down, especially as the third wave hit. The only things really happy with this, my being home so much, were my cats. As you can see, one of them has found his home on top of my chair. The other one's around here somewhere. They were happy I was home so much, but I certainly wasn't. And I'm a social person, and I really missed talking in person to people, hugging people, meeting with people in person instead of on a Zoom platform, gathering with friends and family, and hugging my grandkids. All those sorts of things we have come to take for granted and have now been stripped from us. So, I was not a very happy camper, that's for sure. However, one deals with what one has to deal with, and I learned a couple of things. I started knitting, which I used to do, but I took it back up, and that's really helped me pass the time. Of course, there's always Netflix and, just general TV. And then for those of you, some of you may not know this, but I've been a smoker for many years, and I quit smoking during this time frame. So yeah, that was a little bit of a ray of sunshine in my experience. Last year we opened the ice cream stand, at least for part of the time. This year I was really looking forward to opening it, and I was hopeful, excuse me, that the restrictions would be lifted enough that I actually could open the stand. And yes, they did. June 1st, we were able to open. There were several people who volunteered to work at the stand. As well, I hired one young woman, Rose Savard. Some of you may know her. She's part of that Savard group of young women and her parents. And yeah, so we started June 1st. We were blessed with unbelievably great weather the first week. And we were able to sell enough ice cream in a few short days, like 5 days. We sold enough to cover the cost of 16 tubs of ice cream, plus the supplies I had to buy to open the stand. So, I mean, that was a phenomenal beginning to our summer. What was even better than the money we earned were the people that we saw. I met a lot of our neighbors again. Many, of course, I'd seen and known from other years, but even a few new ones who had moved into the area or hadn't known about the stand, and they were just so pleased to see they had an ice cream stand in the neighborhood. Many of the repeat customers were ecstatic that the flag was up and they could come and pick out their favorite ice cream. One mom said her kids had been asking when the ice cream stand would open ever since last fall when it closed. Anyway, yeah, so joy was brought back to my world when the stand opened. It also helped me fill some hours. It gave me more of a purpose than I'd had in the last while. So it was a personal plus for me. We've had a lousy week this week, but looking forward to next week when the sun will shine again, and we'll be back at the stand. Hopeful all of you will stop over, have a little cup of ice cream, $4 a cup. We're open from 3:30 to 8:30 every day, and so have a good week, and I'll see you at the stand. Bye.
God of courageous love, we come today prepared to serve our neighbors.
Help us to keep a clear mind and a firm heart.
We pray to hear the promise and calm that lives at the heart of your being.
We pray to recognize how that same voice lives in us.
When we choose the braver path of love, let us know that we live in you.
We pray to turn away from worldly riches and toward inner joy.
You, O God, long for a world in which the last shall be first, in which the lowly are cared for.
We trust in your vision and long to make it so. Draw the circle wide, draw it wider still. Let this be our song, no one stands alone, standing side by side. Draw the circle wide. God, the still point of the circle, round whom all creation turns. Nothing lost but held forever in God's gracious arms. Draw the circle wide, draw it wider still. Let this be our song, no one stands alone, standing side by side. draw the circle wide. Let our hearts stretch far horizons, so encompass great and small. Let our loving know no borders, faithful to God's call. Draw the circle wide, draw it wider still. Let this be our song, no one stands alone, standing side by side. Draw the circle wide. Let the dreams we dream be larger than we've ever dreamed before. Let the dream of Christ be in us, open every door. Draw the circle wide, draw it wider still. Let this be our song, no one stands alone, standing side by side. Draw the circle wide, draw the circle wide, draw it wider still.